pretty much keep going back to adding it right away.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I've never actually, because I started out as a winemaker, I've never really seen the point of making a mead and then adding stuff to it. I've always done all the fruit up front.
Now, I've done it both ways. I think it depends on where, well, it doesn't, it depends on where it gets to and what I'm looking to get in the end with the fruit, you know, because I've noticed that some fruits will, for whatever reason, like, I don't know, the first time I did a strawberry, it just ate up the strawberries, and I wanted more strawberry in the nose. I wanted more strawberry in the flavor, so I ended up back adding some to bring that to that point. And that was, you know, early on when I was learning to work with fruit.
Yeah, and that's one of the times when I would use it in secondary, is if I'm trying to boost the flavor because it all disappeared in fermentation. I haven't needed to yet.
Yeah, that's one of the most, I see that question a lot on the forum, which is why I brought it up.
Yeah.
And I think it does maintain a truer sense of the fruit if you add it to secondary, but I've always been able to get a satisfactory level adding it right away. And I tend to like what it does right away, too.
Yeah. Well, and I think it also varies a little bit on the fruit. Some fruits present a lot bigger and maintain a lot longer. You know, there are some that tend to fade quickly, depending, and that basically comes down to picking the right yeast. You know, to get to be able to get that in that first round of fermentation without having to back add, and that's where it gets tricky.
Yeah, that's one of the other things I like doing is experimenting with yeast per batch, and though K1V is my go-to, if I'm doing anything with berries or dark fruits, I tend to choose our, RC212, which I find it to be a completely cranky pants yeast during fermentation, but it gives me good product at the end if I take care of it.
Yeah, unless the temperature gets too high like it did for me, and then no, not so much.
I've never had that problem because usually, since I started using that, I've been fermenting in the basement where the temperature's fairly stable.
Yeah, that's what I should have done, but yeah. I made the mistake of thinking that I could keep it cooler in that space, and I was wrong, so yeah. There's going to be fruit getting back added to this one, you know, because of that high temp, that it burned through way faster than I wanted it to. So,
when this one's for everybody, because I'm not a big melomel maker. I make mostly traditionals, but I understand that when, as a beginner, when you're making a mel, you really want to pay attention to that fruit cap, and you gotta keep punching it down, right? Why? When I make my first mel in a couple of months, why is it that I need to really take care of that fruit cap? What's going to happen if I don't?
The biggest risk is because you're not getting as much. What you want is all the fruit to be submerged so that you're getting the flavor out of it, and also so that it's not getting exposed to whatever's in the headspace. Now, I found that as long as I'm making carbon dioxide and not really letting a lot of oxygen into it, I don't have too much trouble with it. But the other thing, too, is you want to punch down any kind of foam so that it doesn't end up blocking up your airlock and, you know, making a meat fountain.
Yeah, that's the biggest risk.
That's what I've as well. So, as long as it's producing CO2, you should be fine.
Okay, we have Paul Johnson coming in, and he's the one that's 4 hours away.
Great. Oh yeah. Sorry, I was just busy going over wedding stuff with my fiance here. So
yeah,
hey, how's it going?
All these awesome pictures lately.
Oh, 2 more weeks of this, and then hopefully just a nice vacation in Hawaii here. So.
Very good. Congrats.
Yeah. So my question to you, since you're based out of your home and everything, what are your hours like for your, you have a tap room, I assume. Is it weekends or is it weekdays as well?
Well, what we're proposing to do after our grand opening, Labor Day weekend, we're planning to start having more regular hours since our tasting room will actually be open at that point. And so what we're scheduling right now is we're thinking, very limited in that we'll be open Thursday evenings and then on Saturdays. But since Wayne is home, we're also going to be available by appointment, and so that gives us the flexibility where, he's here, pretty much most of the time, short of an appointment here or there, but have that availability for people who might be coming in from 4 hours away and want to come and visit. And so we've got that flexibility. But we're planning on Saturdays primarily, and then we'd like to do, some of the kind of more group tasting events that we maybe schedule on either Sundays or other weeknights. I can't wait to do one of those like wine and canvas, meat and canvas, and get some painting and stuff going, and have some stuff like that going. So we're hoping to have a few kind of specialty events on those off nights and have limited hours with appointment options too. So people can just give us a call and say, hey, are you around? Yeah, we're stopping by, and that generally is going to work out, I think, most of the time for us.
Another nice,
nice
thing about having the meadery in your house.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I'm just going to have to go in the other room and we'll be good.
Here, let me step through the door. Okay, we're open.
Exactly, we're open. We had our very first event that we had with the art festival. We had no idea of what to bring, and actually posed that question out on the Mead Maker Association group. So I'm like, what do you bring? How much do you bring to one of these kinds of things? And we got some great feedback from people, and of course we brought way more than we thought we would need because we didn't want to be stuck without, and so we hauled, of course, a lot of it back too. And we quickly, confirmed our thoughts, and that it's going to be a lot easier to just turn on the light and unlock the door than to load up 3 vehicles with cases of meat and tents and banners and, all the other stuff. And so we'll still do that occasionally, but definitely we're looking forward to being able to just walk downstairs and, open up the front door and turn the lock and say, come on in.
Well, interesting that you said by appointment. My wedding is on September 9th. Maybe I could make a little 4-hour journey. It would make a great honeymoon.
Absolutely.
You'd be happy with that.
We would. Absolutely.
Well, after the show, we'll have to exchange numbers, or I could probably just find it on your website, I assume. And
yeah, we're on Facebook. We've got website and all that good stuff. And where are you at, Paul?
About a half hour north of the Twin Cities, Big Lake.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Very good.
So not far at all. Yeah. Scheme of things, anyway. 4 hours seems awfully short sometimes.
I don't know, in the wide
oh
open
no,
spaces,
I can make drives like that.
Yeah, wide open spaces is not that big of a deal.
Nope.
Honestly.
It's a great drive unless you have to go through like Montreal or Toronto.
Yeah. or Delaware. Nobody wants to drive through Delaware.
But winery tours are a great thing to do on honeymoon. That's one of the things we did when we were honeymooning.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, we actually, and she chose the island, Kauai, and apparently I did a little Google search, and there's Hawaii's first and only meadery.
Well, there's 2, actually.
Nanny or something?
I've heard they...
Really?
Yeah, Nanny Moon is there, and Volcano Winery is there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there are 2. I don't know...
I've heard they produce some good dry meads.
They have a macadamia mead that is supposedly to die for. That I've never been able to get my hands on a bottle. I will persevere to get one, but not yet. May I have to actually go to Hawaii to get it. So, if you got your luggage there, Paul.
Or you could send your liquor mule, a.k.a. Paul Johnson, and he could make a stop for you.
You could just mule me back a bottle, dude. But yeah, it's I know Nanny Moon is on the Big Island, I think. One's on the Big Island and one is not on the Big Island, but I don't know which island the other one's on. So
Nanny Moon is on Kauai.
Is on Kauai?
I'm pretty positive.
Then I think Volcano is on the Big Island. So But yeah, they're both there, and from what I understand, island hopping's not that big a deal. So, definitely check it out and report back in, and let us know what you find out. Because not a lot of people have, surprisingly, have if they've had it, they haven't, told Got Meat about it. So, so I'd like to hear more about, what they've got out there. But yeah, rumor has it their macadamia is amazing.
All right, well, I'll get back to you on that. So I'll do a little posting and Got Meat with the tastings.
Oh, totally, yeah. You let me know, I'll set you up, and you can write your own articles, man. No worries.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah. Got Meat's a collaborative thing, so totally. But, yeah, so the cranberry thing, I've never had these high bush cranberries. You guys
have you ever had a wild raisin?
Wow.
I have not.
They're the same structure. I've forgotten the name of the actual plant, but they're called wild raisins. They've got the seed is a disc.
Okay.
As opposed to like regular cranberries, which have the little tiny round seeds. The high bush cranberries, their seed is a disc, and wild raisins, it's the same thing, and the berry is very similar, except without all the bitterness.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're in the elderberry family, I think.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
No,
Because they have a very similar...
yeah.
We actually had to do a lot of research on high bush cranberry in order to get our recipe approved through the TTB.
Oh, I bet.
High bush cranberry, not one of those generally recognized as safe foods. No.
Oh,
And
that's interesting.
yeah, so anybody who is moving down that road, contact me, because I did a wealth of research and had to actually contact the FDA and get, the approval from them to go ahead and use it. And so we actually went through quite a bit of legwork to use a berry that, is not really producing for us as we would like, but, here on our property. And so it's like, we went through a lot of work for you. You need to shape it up. But hopefully it'll turn. Hopefully it'll take 12 years.
Yeah. Well, and I noticed you guys had mentioned earlier too. You have an aronia berry one that you're doing. I think Dave in Texas is doing aronia berry meads, I want to say, but one of the guys that calls in regularly, Dr. Dave. But what's the aronia berry taste like?
Well, I guess to me, it's very distinctive. It's its own flavor. I guess it's really hard. It's very tannic. But it mellows out really well with the honey and with the fermentation. Adding it into primary, it really changes the profile. You wouldn't want to eat an aronia just straight necessarily, I don't think. It's got a lot of tannin. It's pretty much known as a chokeberry, and is another name for it. And it's a superfruit. It's got really high antioxidants, but if you make it just a little bit on the semi-sweet side, I think it really balances out well. And it's its own unique flavor. It's hard to describe.
Okay, well, tannic and superfruit definitely helps with that. That's interesting.
And aronia berries, at least around here in the Midwest,
They're kind of making a comeback.
Really growing in popularity. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of farmers who are transitioning and getting into aronia berries as the crop, and so it's just grown immensely. It seems like this year, and we've had lots of calls even now from farmers who they're maybe they planted 2-3 years ago, and they're just now really starting to produce, and they're like, hey, I heard you do aronia. you wanna buy some? And we've had great farmers that we've worked with on our berries, for our elderberries, our aronia berries. We really try to connect with people who are local to us and, work under kind of the conditions. It might not be necessarily certified organic, but, really use kind of the processes and have some of the same beliefs that we do. And so we found some really good partners in some of our berry farmers.
Okay. And you're also doing, what was the other one that you mentioned that was Interesting. It was the cranberry, the aronia berry, and there was goji.
Yeah, the goji.
The goji
Yep.
berry, yeah, the one that Wayne is drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.